You say your name again? Can I have you say your name again, please?
Yeah, Bernard Hall.
So were you ever part of the military?
Yeah.
What do you do there?
Engineer.
Did you ever travel while in the military?
Oh, I went from here to Fort Dix. Not Fort Dix. Well, I went to Massachusetts to start with, and I went there down to Washington D.C., just outside of Washington D.C.
Mhm.
Uh, Fort Belvoir.
Yep.
And took training there.
How long was your training?
Huh?
How long was your training?
We had 8 weeks of regular training and then 8 more weeks of advanced training, which was for the engineering part. So, learning to do engineer work as far as working in construction work.
So you were not in combat at all?
No, I never went into combat at all.
Because you didn't want to, or because they didn't need you?
No, they didn't put me there. I think the main reason was on account of my hearing.
Okay.
And they put me somewhere else where I could do work and stuff, but not have to put other people's life in danger on account of because I couldn't hear good.
Did you have bad hearing because of working on the farm, or like?
No, I lost it when I had the adenoid. I was operated on for adenoid, and I lost the hearing. I had the chance of getting my hearing back or losing it entirely. Well, I got 1 year back, and I lost the other one.
I see.
That's what caused that. Just from the operation.
And then they placed you with engineer work because you had experience with that, right?
Yeah, because I worked in the woods when I was 4 when into service, so they figured I was an engineer, I learned how to work in the woods and drive a horse and all that stuff, so they just figured that I was a good engineer and they put me in the engineering department.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah. It was working. I didn't mind working.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
You liked the work that you were doing though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was it similar to the work that you did at home?
Well, it was a different kind of work. See, I'd done mechanical work at home.
Yep.
But in there, they had me doing construction work, and I worked on 3-car heaters, which was electric, motors, and then we had to work on the airstrip. I was assigned to the Air Force.
Yep.
Attached to the Air Force. I was an engineer, an Army engineer, but they attached us to the Air Force. And then we went around to the air bases and built airstrips. And I worked in the asphalt plant.
Did you ever leave the country?
I went up to Canada, went to the Arctic Circle, 100 miles inside the Arctic Circle.
So you obviously faced your cold weather then.
Oh yeah. And then I spent a week over in Greenland. I went from there to Greenland to take up 6 miles of 4-inch and 6-inch pipe for gas lines, to fill the storage tanks back at the station I was stationed at.
Where did the pipes run from?
They run from the ship. The ship come in.
Yep.
The river there, and anchor, and then they'd pump the gas from the ships into these storage tanks.
Okay.
They had either 3 or 5 big storage tanks there.
Would you then fill up planes in Greenland?
Jet fuel. For planes and jets, yeah. That's what it is. That was a storage place. See, in the wintertime they couldn't get in there.
Yeah.
So they had to come in during the month of October. The month of August, the only time they could get in there.
It was frozen right all other months except for that?
Well, on the 4th of July we had ice on the bay there.
Mm-hmm.
But when we went up there, we went in there in May. I flew in there by plane, and there was between 3 and 4 feet of ice on the bay there.
Wow. What war was this during?
Huh?
What war was this during? Was this during what war was it? Was it during the Korean War, the Vietnam?
The Korean War, yeah. Between 53 and 55. I was up there in 54. I went up there in 1954. And we went up there in May and stayed there until 1st of September. And then we transferred from there back down to Canada there,
So would
Nova Scotia.
the planes, would they fly over Canada to get to Korea, or would they just continue flying from Europe?
They flew up. They used to fly up there and refuel,
Yeah.
and then go from there into Russian territory over in that area.
So the planes would just fly over the Arctic Circle?
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause
they
it-
was actually they patrolled up there. They was, guiding the United States there. They had 2 big radar stations up there that monitored everything that's going on around, so that they couldn't sneak in on us.
You never saw any enemies, so
No.
did any of them ever get close to you, or?
No, I just got the only thing I saw up there was Eskimos.
Ah, I see. So seals and other wildlife.
Yeah.
So you once told me that you had a garage or a store downtown here in Newport. Will you tell me about that?
Yeah, I took that garage over in 1962, and I was in there from 62 to 75. I run the garage and service station
Where was it?
in right there by the railroad tracks on Main Street. Not down to Valero, but up the other way up. It used to be a Shell station years ago.
Is there anything there now?
No, it's torn down. Well, the only thing that's there now is what's left is the.
Pretty near the barber shop?
Yeah, they have a barber shop there now. That was a building built on down beyond that. See, the main building itself is gone. The main building itself is gone.
Didn't they tear it down a few years ago? Or was it way before?
About 4 or 5 years ago, I think it got tore down.
I think I remember that as the Citgo station right across from the bank, Key Bank, right?
Yeah. When I first went there, it was the Citgo then, and then it changed to Flying A, and then Flying A went out, and they went back to
Citgo.
Citgo. Yeah.
How much was gas a gallon back then?
I paid 19 cents a gallon for it. I sold it for 19 cents a gallon. And I paid 18.5 cents a gallon. I made 0.5 cent a gallon for gasoline. Made a profit of 1/2.
So was it actually decent for gas, or was that still pretty bad?
It wasn't good, but
But it was
it paid my light bill. Just about paid my light bill. What I depended on was the gas brought in the customers, so they do the repair work, tires and repair the motors and stuff like that, and do all that kind of stuff. But the gasoline actually was a calling card.
I see. So it would be the gas would bring them in.
Yeah.
Then you could go in and rotate their tires.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah. They had me do the mechanical work.
Yep.
And as long as I had gasoline there, but once I didn't have gasoline there, they wouldn't come. See?
So during the '70s gas shortage, you really took a hit.
Oh yeah, we had a heck of a gas shortage there. They rationed us on gasoline. We could have 2/3 of what we had sold the year before. In other words, if I sold 1,000 gallons, I was only allowed 800 gallons this year. Well, in the meantime, my business had tripled.
Wow.
So I wasn't.
So business was growing, but as soon as the gas shortage happened, you lost.
Oh yeah.
You were losing business.
Yeah, I lost business and everything else. That's one of the reasons I closed it, because
You had
pretty
to.
near put me out of business there.
You had to leave while you were ahead.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any help in your workshop?
No, I done it all myself. Well, my dad helped me once in a while, but I done most of the work myself.
How old were you when you had it?
How old was I?
Yeah.
60. 30, yeah. 30, between 30 and 35, between 30
So
and
for
40.
30, starting at 30, you were able to have your business, and you were able to triple it within a couple of years.
Yep. Yep.
Impressive, and I
Yep.
think we're almost out.
Yeah, when I first took it on, there was very little business there, and then I picked up customers because a lot of people knew me where I lived in town.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had one before that Dad had it, and that was right across from the funeral home on Main Street there. And we had that for 6 years, so everybody knew me around there. And I had good reputation of doing good work and being honest about it.
And then clearly it runs through the family.
Yep.
Everybody trusts Papa with their bit when they ask him to do stuff, and when he brings me around, I always try to do a good job like you, like it's always done.
Yeah, of course, a lot of times the young fellows would come in there when I had the garage, and they'd give me a hand, help out what they could, you know. But they used to hang out there a lot. I'd give them a